Hi guys, this is a first. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Spirit, aka Chris. I've got some music playing. Here, I'll turn it down a little bit. Some royalty-free music in the background, just some little bit of music in the background to relax. I was feeling extremely anxious when I started shuffling the deck, and Spirit, in the middle of my cleaning, asked me to do a reading. So here I am to upload this on Saturday afternoon. It is 2 o'clock here. So this, how long this reading takes, it'll be uploaded shortly thereafter. And it is not time sensitive, so whenever you do find this reading, and if it resonates with you, it was meant for you, and it's definitely for a collective. Now at first I started to shuffle the deck knowing what I needed to do, because I have a list of different readings that I do every month. I'm trying to be super consistent here on my YouTube channel. Before I go into who the reading is for and how this is going to work, because this is a first for me, first let me just get a few things out. If you are trying to contact me for a private reading, to join my Patreon, find out when I stream on Twitch, or if you are a new subscriber, please make sure you hit the notification bell, and any of the information about me is below. My link tree has all of my contact information. I will be adding on there somehow. I'll figure it out how to add where you can contact me when I get a website where you can actually reserve or put a deposit down or pay for a reading, and I'll explain how that works in the future. I'm working on that currently. I don't have a website up and running. So I have some sage burning, so you might see some smoke here and there. As I was shuffling the deck, I was getting very anxious energy, so I wanted to cleanse the area, as well as I temporarily set up on this computer desk that I use for when I Twitch stream. I already did the Tibetan singing bowl to clear the energy. I have the sage burning, and I asked all the angels to come in and, guide and protect the space, sacred space. So the first thing I want to say is this reading is different than I normally do. Normally I do astrology readings, and then I do elemental readings. And the way that works is fire, earth, air, or water. I do a general read for the collective, and that's how my readings go. This is the most cards that I've laid out on a YouTube video. Usually this is like a private reading type of style. This reading is for fire signs and air signs. I am being told, excuse me, let me correct that. This is for fire and water signs. I struggled with this because Spirit had me high energy when I was doing the decks, and I kept saying, I feel like this is water signs, and then they kept showing me fire. So this is both for fire and water signs. So I just want to put that out there. This is the first that they've ever done this before. So, and like I said, I'm uploading it in February during the Mercury retrograde, but there's no time to this reading. Whenever you find it is when you're meant to find it, okay? If this resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, then you might want to look under a different sign or where you're following the chart for the astrology. And here we go. Okay. First off, like I said, a lot of energy going on in here. And a lot of cards have come out in one of the decks that have never come out before. So this is interesting to me because of the things I'm getting. So let me just say this top deck, if you're curious, and I will show you the cards as I'm going through the reading because I have a feeling this is going to be a long reading. This top deck is by Denise Lynn, and it is one of my favorite decks. It's the Sacred Traveler deck. The second deck in the middle here is a deck that was gifted to me by my amazing friend and client. She also gets reading from me. It's the 7 Energies. This was on my wish list on Amazon, and I absolutely adore this deck. This deck, okay, and the Animal deck, which is the Animal Totem deck, are the only two decks now that I ever read from the book. For some reason, this is the only other deck other than this Animal deck that I feel compelled to read from the book for those who I do readings. I usually don't do that. I channel information. But I wanted to put that out there. And then this last deck is the Angel deck. I don't have the box. It's from Doreen Virtue, who's now no longer doing this. It's a retired deck, and someone actually gifted it to me from their collection. that they weren't using it. So I really like the angel deck. So then they called for me to pull it out. So that's what I did. So here we go. So I'm going to start from the bottom up. This is what they're telling me. So the first card is there's definitely several people who are on the other side coming through. Now, normally I only do spirit communication, channeling of those who have passed away for private readings. I don't do those readings on Twitch. I don't do them on here on YouTube, but I'm going to tap into it a little bit just to tell those of you who need to hear certain things, the messages that are coming through, but I'm not going to go into grave detail. If somebody on here comes through that resonates with you and you want a private reading, you know, all my information is below. I don't like to do that because unlike the TV show, and I'm not going to say the name, where they show the whole thing talking about dead people and all that, that's super private for me, and I don't do that freely. I only do it with permission and in a private setting because a lot of the information is very hard for people with grief and all that. So I just want to put that out there. So the beloved one came out. Let me get my reading glasses because sometimes I can't read the print on the angel cards because it's super small and it's white. The beloved one is Archangel Chamuel, and he says, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Now, this is the card that told me that there were other people in the room, in the vicinity of my energy, spirit-wise. So, those of you who are watching this in the fire and water signs, your angels, your guides, and those of you who have lost loved ones, a mother, father, sister, brother, they are bringing through your soulmate if you have not found your soulmate yet. And now I want to explain this. If you are currently married or in a relationship, this still can apply to you because soulmates and twin souls, or twin flames as they call it all over the internet, are not necessarily meant to be lovers or relationship wise. They come in your life for certain reasons and sometimes go out as quickly as they come. They stay around and are just not a love interest. They are actually friends. So I want to put this out there, okay? So this could apply to anybody. They are bringing through your soulmate. And I feel like some of you have already met this person as a friend. And others of you have not met this person and will probably meet them within the next 12 months is what they're saying. And like I said, I only do time frames when they tell me. And I only do gender specific when they tell me. Anytime I talk about time stuff, it's not any like right at this moment, and female and male, I'm talking about energies. The moon cycles card came up, and this is interesting because we're going through a really intense Mercury retrograde right now. For some of you who are watching this reading, I'm drinking my coffee because as I started to talk, I feel like several of you are not speaking your truth when it comes to relationships. So some of you, before I read this moon cycles card, during this retrograde are not speaking your truth with friends or relationships. You need to speak your truth. And what that means is setting boundaries with people around you. When you don't set boundaries and people treat you badly, it's because you're not setting boundaries and they know they can get away with it like a child can get away with things. And that's what they're showing me. Now the moon cycles card is showing this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman, angel, with flowers in her hair and doves. This significance, purification to me, and light, okay? This is someone, the group of you who I'm reading for are those of you who are awoken, which means you are very in tune with Gaia, the earth, the wind, everything around you. And you're very empathetic. Now it says it in the message is, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalizes upon these cycles. So this is for those of you who are super sensitive to the retrograde that's going on currently, as well as when we have different types of moon cycles or sun activity or planet activity, okay? This is something that I've struggled with almost my whole life and never really knew what was wrong. I've always had significant vertigo on and off throughout life. It's not consistent. I've actually been to neurologists and doctors with migraines and different things and can never ever find anything. This is just part of the sensitivity when you become someone who has your third eye and you're not living in the 3D world. And so this is definitely speaking to those of you in the water and fire sign that you are, if you are not fully aware, you are starting to see that and you're going through an awakening, okay? Now, crystal clear intentions came out right after that. This is Archangel Michael, and he's bringing in being clear about what you desire and forces upon it with unwavering faith. This is that boundaries that I just talked about when we first came in here. When I first started talking, this is Archangel Michael telling you about the boundaries. I feel like there's some of you that are currently in early stages of relationships, or maybe later on in relationships, who have not set boundaries with their persons and friends. It could be friends too. And now you're struggling with that because you're changing and going through this awakening, and you're realizing this person is taking advantage of you. And it's true. People are selfish. Let's just put it out there. There are people that live in this world that do not realize what they take. They do not realize what they do. And if they know that they can do something, right, if they could push your buttons or get away with certain things, they're going to do it. Okay? It's just part of the world right now. There are so many narcissistic people, and that's exactly what they do. They never face their truths. Everything is always everyone else's fault, and they have a mask on. And so I always try to tell clients when I read stuff like this, it is the look at their actions, not their words, okay? If they don't match up, then pretty much they're probably they're either narcissistic or have narcissistic tendencies. Right? Because not everybody is a full-blown narcissist. The card next to Michael is Prioritize card, and it's saying from Metatron, Archangel Metatron, that you need to focus on your highest priorities. So I feel like because this came out right next to this card about the boundaries, you need to call on Archangel Metatron to focus on your priorities, because he's saying he'll help you get organized and motivated. I definitely need this right now. I'm having a lot of struggles with this. I have had struggles with this for a really long time. I think it has to do with my PTSD, not being able to focus. I love this card. Now, the creative writing card came out next to Metatron, and what that is Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel. He's saying to make time to write down your thoughts in a journal. This is something I always advise to those who are mentoring or guiding, or even my Patreon subscribers, to make sure that they write down different things that go on. So because you're going through this awakening and you're trying to set boundaries and you're overwhelmed right now, I feel a lot of anxiety right now. And I think that's why this reading was so intense in the beginning when I started shuffling the deck. I feel like some of you in this collective are very high anxiety. Like, I feel very anxious right now. I already have PTSD anxiety, but I'm perfectly fine today. I'm calm. I'm in the house. I got the 2 dogs. I'm cooking chicken. I know this is private, but whatever. I'm cooking homemade chicken soup in the crock pot. I'm purging, so I'm only eating soups and liquids because my intestines with this moon have been a mess. TMI, I apologize. I feel like there's a group of you here that are having super, super intense anxiety, and this retrograde is bringing out anger in some of you. And I don't mean like anger punch somebody. I mean like anger with yourself. And I get this a lot too. So what I'm feeling right now is overwhelmingly anxiety and triggers. For some of you, you need to really, really step away from social media for a little while, or limit your social media, okay? And for others of you, and I feel like this is speaking to the water signs especially, you need to set your boundaries. You definitely need to set your boundaries, because this anger thing is not going to help you by being angry at yourself for things that you didn't set boundaries with, but now you're angry about. And I do this, I've done this, and it's very hard to deal with, and I completely understand. But journaling is very important. So for those of you going through this awakening who want to remember certain things, you should write down symbolism that happens to you and different things, because later on you will look back how far you've come, okay? Now, we're going to go up to the top. We're going to do the animal deck, the snake and the cosmic egg. The 2 eggs that came out, right? The snake on the egg, which I've never had 2 eggs come out in a reading. We'll read those at the end, okay? So this middle deck here is that 7 elements, 7 energies deck that I got. And I absolutely cannot say enough about this deck. My friend, I just love her to death. If you're listening, I love you. We're so alike, and she knew that this deck was on my list and just called to her, and it's just an amazing deck that I have bonded with. It's probably one of the top 3 decks that I've really bonded with, that my intuitiveness and my channeling comes right through with the artwork. Now, every single one of these cards, all these 4 cards in the beginning, have come out before in other readings, but this 5th card I'm super stoked about reading to you because I've never seen it before, and it is screaming at me with symbolism, but I want to see if the book matches what it says. So let's see if I can find the book. Okay, here we go. So the first card is Ears Wide Open. Now, for those of you who are listening and really believe in the animal totems, okay, and animal signs and numbers and all that, I had a sign from the universe yesterday. I was doing my meditation yesterday after work, after I got home, and I learned something. And so for me, I'm still learning, right? I know a lot, but I know things, but I don't know the terms for them. So as I've gone through my journey, I've learned the terms for things that I just do naturally, okay? So it's kind of like learning an encyclopedia, but learning all the definitions, but not knowing the terms. I hope that makes sense for those of you who remember what encyclopedias are. It's just learning backwards. So we have the Ears Wide Open, which has a beautiful, beautiful fox. And yes, I have a fox tattoo next to my infinity symbol. And foxes are the second spirit animal in my life. The first one is a wolf, which you know I have on my arm. So this is the beautiful, beautiful fox, and I'm going to read this to you. The world is constantly speaking to us and offering clues about what is really going on beneath the surface of things. We all have the capacity to hear beyond the noise that reaches our ears. The challenge is when we feel misunderstood and unheard, when we feel insignificant, it's very easy to over-explain ourselves in an attempt to get acknowledged, okay? Now is the time to let that all go. Offer your attention as the great gift it is. It's time to stop multitasking, stop checking your phone and thinking of what you're going to say next, and doing all the other things that keep you from connecting fully, okay, with yourself and with the world around you. Whenever you are in the state of chaos and distraction, paying attention to only some of what is being said, we lose the ability to pick up on everything, including that which is not being said, okay? Deep listening is the way in which we immerse ourselves in the truth of the world. In this way, with ears wide open, we also open our hearts and minds to understand more than what is conveyed through words alone. Opportunities arise from the subtle clues we miss when we are not 100% present. Purposeful, open listening is an act of true respect and intimacy. This is so true. So true. When you are in this space of receptivity, letting go of the need to be heard or to be right, you become expansive and alert to meaningful potential. Right now, keep your ears wide open and you will find more than you were searching for. What a beautiful concept. This is amazing. Reciprocation when it comes to friendships and relationships has been very prominent in a lot of the readings this month, and a lot of the readings the last few months, and even in my personal life. It's something that I have struggled with, and this is just a beautiful card. Now, the other card that came out next to it is the Royal You. This card is about you personally in life, okay? Because you're the ruler of yourself. This has to go hand in hand with the boundaries, okay? With setting boundaries, being the true self in you. Look how beautiful that card is. Do you know what it means to express personal sovereignty in your life? It's about how you hold to your inner sense of worth and integrity, securing your belief that you have a unique purpose. It's about feeling comfortable in your own skin, Knowing who you are and that nothing outside you can challenge your authentic self, the hard-won seat of awareness that you have earned. You are the ruler of your mind, and you're being invited to now consider what discipline you need to apply to your thoughts. Are they consistent with the values and beauty you intend for your life? It is important now to keep your focus on what is right and good for you as well as others around you. Challenges in your life at this time, no matter how large or small, must be met with a measured response. If life sends you a challenge, can you speak up and set your boundaries with grace and surety? Calm, intelligent leadership is called for now. Sovereigns know when to plan their battles, so stay out of the unnecessary skirmishes and strategically wield your personal power. Now is the time to lead from the heart, from your authenticity and integrity. Hold your head high and know your worth. That is the mark of a true sovereign. So this is, you can't make this up. This is definitely the boundaries card. This is definitely very important for those of you who are watching this reading and those of you who are the fire and water signs, okay? And in the collective of that group. Now the card next to it is Birds of a Feather, which for me, this card is symbolism for people that you attract that are similar to you. It's almost like the tribal, for me, how do I say it? The being who you're meant to be and attracting others like you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Look at how beautiful they are in the sky. So this card is Birds of a Feather. Have you ever wondered how people naturally gravitate to one another and discover a surprising intimacy and connection? There is a kind of magnetic energy, like an invisible ray of light, that gently pulls people together to form something beautiful that can be shared. As in the saying, birds of a feather flock together, it comes from an instinctual need for belonging, you might say. We need community to survive, to thrive, and to grow. We humans are social creatures after all. None of us are meant to be alone completely. The concept of belonging is playing an important role in your life currently. Perhaps you recently found yourself in a group where you knew you were in the right place. Trust those strands of connection, for now is the time to thrive in the community. What you will find is a deeper and more expansive way of looking at the world by bearing yourself to others and sharing your ideas, your hopes, and your dreams. However long you stay here in this journey of becoming who you're meant to be, connecting to community and participating in fellowship is the best thing for you right now. And it's funny, as I started to read about this, I kept feeling, I'm a very big Lord of the Rings fan, okay guys? For those of you who don't know, that's what one of the rings on my thumb is. I don't know if you can see it. I'm a huge Tolkien fan. And Fellowship of the Ring and Fellowship and that bonding in that movie and the series and the books and all that is something that, as I was reading this, was being shown to me in my head, so that I just giggled when I heard fellowship, because I mean, when do you read that in a card? You know what I mean? It says you will flourish as part of a network of like-minded and like-hearted people. Stick to what feels good and resonates with your heart as true. When you understand the value of this community, you will discover everything you're hoping for and so much more than you're expecting. What a beautiful sentiment. Absolutely. I think when you're going through your awakening and you start to really purge things that no longer serve you, and when you start setting your boundaries and you start really taking self-care, I feel like you attract people, like-minded people who genuinely don't want anything from you other than to be authentic themselves and learn as well. So that's something that's definitely being shown to me. Now the Rose's Kiss came out next to it, which is usually a card about pleasure, it's about enjoyment, desires, it's about your five senses, it's about emotion. I think this has to do a lot with empathy. The card is a beautiful colored rose. It's got a beautiful ladybug on it. And so for those of you who heard me in the beginning of this reading talking about the angel card that I pulled earlier and about those who have passed away being around me while I'm doing this reading, There is definitely someone in here who's passed away. It's a female that actually shows, and I feel like there's 2 or 3 of you that this is going to resonate with, that show you ladybugs that they're around you in the afterlife. So I just want to say that because they're showing that to me. And I see yellow flowers for some reason. Somebody with yellow flowers. Almost, so now, not to get too deep, but someone just lost either a mother or an aunt, or someone who was like a mother or an aunt, and left yellow flowers. Or maybe went to visit their grave and left yellow flowers, and it's cold outside right where I am. It's winter. And for some reason saw a ladybug. I don't know if this is significant, but they're telling me to say it. So before I read the definition of this card, I wanted to say that to you. All right, so the rose is kissed. I'm just going to put it down for a minute so I can pull it up in the book. And if you hear noise in the background, Wednesday and Pugsley are my 2 dogs. Pugsley is right behind me. When I'm doing readings, my energy is very high, my vibration, so he tends to get pacey. And I will let you know if I have to pause it. So the rose's kiss. Take a deep breath and center on the feeling of joy. Can you allow your senses to awaken and connect with your innate desire to experience all life has to offer? What a deep question. I asked myself this a lot this last 6 months. Pleasure is part of life. Let yourself surrender to it today. Before I continue reading this, I just want to let you know, surrender is a huge concept right now during this retrograde. And I'll explain it in a little bit. Our modern times often present a false ideal of how we are meant to experience the world. Connections are lost and distorted by our over-reliance on technology. Just look around and see how few people actually maintain eye contact or engage in conversations. Instead of tapping away at a screen, pause and consider how you can make more intimate contact. Connecting with nature, enjoying the sensual pleasures of sex, and or being aware of the sensations of taste, touch, smell, sight, and sound may be important right now. How do your sheets feel? Can you reach out and feel the heat of the softness of your companion animal nestled beside you? Be present to another person, see them, and let yourself be seen. Your 5 senses are aching to be engaged right now. This is an invitation to get out of your head and into your body. You may be a spiritual and intelligent being, but right now the emphasis should be on having a sensory experience. This is a sacred part of this gift of life. By being present to this sensual world, you invite an even deeper spiritual experience. Amazing, isn't it? Perhaps it really is time to stop and kiss the roses. So this is huge about your awakening. This is about those of you who are currently either in the process of it or about to go into it or in it in the middle, okay? This is about appreciating the small moments, appreciating the small things around you, simple life of something like a ladybug or a flower growing or your dog next to you, shutting off social media and seeing what's truly around you, and being appreciative of the very small moments in your life instead of always the hustle and bustle. Now the last card is the card that I was just talking about a little while ago. It's a card that has never, ever, 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 ever come out before in any of my readings, not even my own, okay? And it's funny to me when I look at this card because when it came out in the deck and I was still drawing these bottom cards because it's right here, one of the things, I'm going to share this with you before, I haven't even read the definition, okay? But I want to share it to you and then tell you what I see, and then we'll see how accurate the book is. So this is the card that came out. Okay, there's a top hat, and there is a Pinocchio creature. I'm going to call it a creature because Pinocchio is not a real boy, right? Well, he becomes a real boy, but anyways, it's Pinocchio pretty much. Or it's supposed to resemble someone that looks like Pinocchio. And there's beautiful stars behind him, and he's sitting on, let me pull it up close and look at it. He's sitting on a hat. It looks like a hat, a top hat with a star on it. I want to say there's smoke or a flower. I can't really tell what it is. And stars behind him, and he has a super grin, and his nose is average size. And it says a tall tale. Okay? So I'm going to tell you what I saw or what they channeled through me. This is a deceiver. This is a liar. This is someone who wears a mask. This is a pathological liar. This is a trickster. This is someone who is not true, who is not authentic. This is someone who's hiding things. This is someone who's not mysterious, mischievous, okay? Unlike my little pixie that I have on my arm, who's playful and mischievous, this is actually someone who has intense purposes of being not true. Now, this is the first time I've ever had something like this come through in this particular deck, the 7 energies. I do have several other decks that have specific cards that scream to me when someone is being false. And what that means is what I was saying in the beginning of this reading about having your boundaries set because people will take, right? And also about being authentic has been through this reading the entire time, being authentic. So this is huge. So I'm about to read this to you, and I'm interested to see what it says. This should be extremely interesting for me because I've been super 100% accurate on my channeling lately. Not that I've never been accurate, but I'm very in tune. So I hope that this is not too deep. Like, I don't want to freak anybody out. You or someone else is telling a tall tale right now. Let me move the card. You always know if a falsehood is spoken because it doesn't feel grounded. This is what I call a BS meter. When you lie, you get high on an illusory, I can never say that word, illusory sense of power that is doomed to fail at some point. You feel driven by the fear of exposure, but something makes you stick to your story even though you know it has no substance. Whatever lie we are caught up in isn't as important as the motive for it. Why does anyone lie? Perhaps we don't believe in the truth is good enough, or we want to keep doing what we know we shouldn't be doing. Then there is the lie put forth while in denial, such as hiding an active addiction. In this scenario, we may believe our own lies. The telltale, the white lie, the stretching of the truth, and the blatant fabrication are all about control. The desire for it, the lack of it, the need to maintain it so we can manipulate the outer world and hide our inner one. Today, ask for truth. Be willing to pay the price and be okay with the vulnerability your lie is exposing in yourself and others. Transparency is required to get to where you need to go, to be truly empowered, to reveal the strength of what is true and authentic. Any other path leads to a dead end. Remember the saying, the truth will set you free, and get ready to fly unfettered. Wow. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat that there are a group of you in this collective for the water and fire signs that are not being your true authentic self. I do feel like some of you have addictions, and what I mean by addictions is not always drugs. There could be food addiction, there could be sex addiction, there could be shopping addictions, there could be all types of addictions that empaths, when we have damaged childhoods, go to. So this is being your true authentic self, and I definitely do not think this is anyone that's not in this group that's resonating with this. I feel like this is you guys here, not your partner, not your friends around you. Usually they'll say, hey, this card means somebody in your life. But no, I am actually reading for you guys, fire and water. This is some of you here not being your true authentic self. And I can tell you right now, if you are a true empath and going through an awakening, this is going to haunt you until you embrace your authenticity. I can tell you right now, I sometimes joke around with people that it's a curse of mine that I tell the truth too much. But I tell the truth all the time. And I rarely ever tell like those little white lies. But when I do, and it's not anything major, it's like stupid stuff. And not even with friends or family, it's like little things. And when I do that, and I haven't done it in a very long time, it makes me literally sick. So this is huge. So I hope that this resonates with someone who's watching this. I feel like there are a handful of you. And not to be shamed about this, because this is normal. Because we have our human side. I'm going to use my hands. We have our human side, and then we have our soul side. Our human side is the one who's old programming and can lie. Our soul side is the pure, right? Pure energy who can't lie. Who wants to be their full authentic self. Who wants to go through this awakening. Who wants to do good, pay it forward. And then you have the old self, who's old conditioning, and that's when all this stuff comes in. Okay? I don't know why I used my hands, but they showed me to. Alright. So now, the top deck is the Sacred Traveler deck. Sorry, I had to move the box. So, the first one is Watching the Clouds, and I'll show you the cards in a minute. Faraway places, joy and delight, embracing enthusiasm and in the flow. Okay, so after I read all of this, it's saying to lie back, rest, and relax. I feel like a lot of you are like bustle, like super busy, constantly busy, run, gotta go. All these things going on, can't stop. We're always busy. Okay? Slow down. They're telling me to tell you to slow down. Faraway places. I feel like some of you in this collective for fire and water are going to be traveling, and they're showing me a year to 2 years. I feel like some of you will be traveling at the end of this year. I'm going to show you the cards. Here's the Watching Clouds card that tells you to relax and chill. It's a hammock. And then the faraway places is my travel card. I feel like some of you, I keep seeing, this is strange. If this part resonates with you, please comment below or email me. But for some reason, someone is showing me Sweden. Another person, like they're showing me Sweden to travel, and they're showing me a cruise to Alaska. And then the third thing that they keep showing me, and I'm giggling, is Disneyland, but not Disneyland like Florida, Disneyland, California, which is weird because I'm closer to Florida. Well, actually, I'm closer to both, but I've never been to Disneyland, California. I've heard about it. I've been to Disneyland Orlando like a very long time ago. But yeah, those are the 3 places that they're showing me. And then they're showing me, which is very funny, is they're showing me the Grand Canyon. Now, Joy and Delight also came out, which says open your heart to joy. This is when you start setting your boundaries. This is when this is going to happen. Where you're going to be authentic and you're going to be, look at it, it's above birds of a feather. This is when you're going to be in your authentic self and attract other like-minded people and speak your truth and all of that, okay? Now, embracing enthusiasm is also a card that's going to come out after you embrace your boundaries, okay? First you do your boundaries, then you clear, you clear your mind, you ground, and then the angels came in and talked to us about yourself and what you need to work on. And then this BS card came out, okay, about you not being your true self. So embracing enthusiasm is shout out to the heavens with happiness. This is when you're truly, you're sitting in your truth. You release that crap that lies keep your energy at a low vibration at. Look at her. She's just so, this is the appreciation of the small things in life. Look at her. She's looking at the butterflies because they are just so beautiful. This is me right now, I have to tell you. Like today, like with the ladybug symbolism in this deck. Like I just love, like I found a tree frog outside right before the winter hit. And he was on the door outside and I couldn't stop looking at him because he was so beautiful. And to other people, they just, oh, it's just a frog. But for me, I'm like, oh, hey, Mr. Frog. It's just those small moments that you're going to appreciate more. Okay? And then the last card in this deck is in the flow. Once you get through all of this that's going on, you're going to be in the flow. You're going to be manifesting positive things in your life. And you're going to feel really content. And the energy is just going to be amazing. It's not going to be so much anxiety. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety going on right now. There are a lot of you that aren't speaking your truth, which is normal. And as you go through your awakening, there's so many different things that can happen and everybody experiences it differently. I just want to put that out there. So now we're going to look at the animal deck card. So the animal deck card is another one that I'm trying to figure out what I did with the book. Let me see. I thought the book was up here on the desk. Nope, I found it. I put it behind me because I'm cleaning my office. This is the Animal Spirit Guidebook. This is one of my favorite decks ever. It is one of the only decks that I've ever read the book definition, but now you can add the 7 energies to that. These are the only 2 that I ever read the definition because Spirit guides me to. So this is the first, and I'm going to put them up front so you can see them, that I've ever gotten any of the eggs together, okay? These are the 2 eggs. So we're going to read the black egg first. So let me put my glasses back on so I can read the tiny writing. Give me 1 second. Let's see. And if you don't know, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up and I'll show it to you. The circle that is above this deck, which is funny to me. I'm trying to find the definition so that I can read it to you, but I don't know this book very well. I usually just scroll when I get something. And so let me see if I can find the eggs, because this is the first time I've ever gotten them together. It's weird. I can't. Here we go. They're in the back. That's why they're in the way, way back. So the circle above them means spirit, which is kind of funny. It's like the magical section of the book. See, this is what it looks like. This means spirit, the circle. So we're reading for the black egg. Oh my god, I cannot make this shit up. Oh my god, I can't believe this. I totally have to like sit back and think to myself like how fucking crazy this is. I'm sorry I cuss sometimes on this channel, but it's just beyond my I'm just overwhelmed with gratefulness at how accurate this is. You cannot make this up. I'm just gonna read this right below the name black egg. It's I'm trying really hard to speak because I'm about to laugh at myself. It says, speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. Holy shit, what were we just talking about? The black egg contains one of the life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, no excuses, no small talk, no noise, or no lies. Not even white lies. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading. Didn't we just talk about journaling? Writing, reading. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in. Books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment in every situation. It's the epitome of truth, epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. Wow. So next to it, and I've never really read the eggs before because I've never really got them all out together like this. And I apologize. Pugsley's super anxious right now next to me, so if you heard him growl at me, he wasn't growling, he was trying to get my attention to scratch his butt. So the black egg, also behind the definition, it says the black egg and the fifth chakra. So I'm going to read this to you. This is a first. The subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat. What have I been saying? This whole freaking thing, I've been having throat issues. It's the Vishuddha chakra. It's Vishuddha. The ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Vishuddha translates as especially pure. The balance of the center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. So when you're doing your meditation, those of you who resonate with this reading, you need to look at this picture. You can pause it here. I'm going to show it to you. The circle. Let's see if I can put it up close. There we go. I want you to meditate and then look at that. This is going to release some of you who are having a block with being able to be your authentic self, or white lies or lying. It applies to both of you. When you're meditating, what I want you to do is look at this circle meditating, okay? This is what Spirit's telling me to show you. Okay? So now we're going to read from the cosmic egg, which is also an earth sign, okay? I mean a spirit sign. Sorry, I said earth. I'm trying to find it in here. Give me 1 second. Cosmic egg. Oh my God, cosmic says it all for me. I'm just like totally enamored with this. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pause it. You know me, I don't edit my software. I mean, I don't edit my videos or anything. Pugsley, I think, needs something, so I'm gonna pause it for a minute, and then and it won't seem like any time to you, and then we'll come back and read this. All right, I'm back. I apologize for that. Pugsley had to go to the bathroom, TMI. So I wanted them to settle down a little bit. I burned a little more sage, and got my coffee, and we're about to read the Cosmic Egg. So you'll see this stunning, beautiful snake around the egg, and the egg has red, orange, yellow, blue, purple, like the rainbow colors. Sorry, but the dogs are pacing right now. Well, Wednesday's pacing. The Cosmic Egg is the final card in the Journey of the Animal Spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state of energies after we have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace we experience self-realization. A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs, which is what I always talk about with programming, are lifted. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we'll never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or a flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. I'm just going to put it down for a minute so I can flip the page. I only have one hand. So it says, the cosmic contract written at the beginning, we hold on to life and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. Okay? Now the cosmic egg, I apologize, and the 7th chakra. The subtle essence of the cosmic egg resides at the crown chakra, at the top of the head, called Sahasrara. Okay, this is what I always share with clients and people I'm mentoring or doing readings for. Your third eye is obviously in the center of your forehead. That's where people portray it. But it actually comes in at the very top of your head, and that's the 7th chakra that they're referring to here. And I'm going to pronounce it again. It is called the Sahasrara, which is Sahasrara. Okay? One of the aims of yoga and meditation practice is to channel energy from the base of the spine upward towards this. Each of the 6 lower chakras plays an important role along this journey. So for those of you who meditate like myself, and I intuitively channel, and I also do distance Reiki and healing stuff with the chakras, will know what I'm talking about. And once the final epicenter of consciousness is activated, your third eye, it is said to radiate the light of 1,000,000 suns. So for those of you, this is very important, for those of you who are comfortable with meditation, who are empaths, who are embracing their awakening right at this moment and are going through this cycle, I'm going to show you a picture that's here with this cosmic egg. And what I want you to do is the next time that you meditate, I want you to use this image. So you might want to screenshot this. Give me a second. There we go. This is the image, okay? You see that? This is going to help open up your third eye more than it already is. So it's funny that this came up because Spirit has been guiding me to do some meditation videos where I talk about techniques that work on my YouTube channel, and also to do some meditation ASMR videos where they're recorded and not live, so I don't get sidetracked with energy. If this is something that you guys would like, I may offer a small video like once a month, and then offer a more in-depth, more live types of meditations on my Patreon page. But please comment below if this is something that you're interested in. So this is the reading for fire and water, and this has been the most intense reading I've done in a long time. So we'll see what they ask me to do next, but I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated with you. If you would like to contact me for private reading, all my information is below in the link tree. And if you want to know when I'm going live or on Twitch or even on my Patreon page, please just check out all the links below. And I thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the like button. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you are subscribed, please make sure, I've been told this a million times this week, to go to my channel where you subscribed and hit the notification bell. It'll tell you how frequently to tell you when I put live content on or new content on. Thank you again, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Take care. Bye-bye.